Let's see if this movie is a good way to send out Daniel Craig's James Bond with a No Time to Die. No Time to Die is the last James Bond movie for Daniel Craig, directed by Cary Fukunaga, starring Daniel Craig as James Bond. You got Léa Seydoux back as Madeline Swan. Rami Malek plays our main villain, Sarafin. Lashana Lynch plays Naomi, who is a new 00 agent for MI6. Ralph Fiennes is back as M, Ben Whishaw is back as Q, Naomi Harris back as Moneypenny. Jeffrey Wright is in this movie as a man named Felix. Christoph Waltz is brought back from Spectre to play his character Blofeld again. Ana de Armas is in the movie as Paloma. She's another agent that helps James Bond out in a couple action scenes in the movie. And then we have this villain that's just there for the sake of intimidation called Cyclops. He's kind of like the Jaws of the movie. If you were to compare him to the character of Jaws, who has showed up in James Bond movies, Moonraker and The Spy Who Loved Me. And basically the plot is James Bond has fallen in love with Madeline Swan and finds out that there's some secrets within Madeline Swan's past that's coming back to haunt them in the form of Sarafin. And we find out that he has this plan with a nanotech virus that he wants to unleash. So James Bond has to go up against them and gain help from Lashana Lynch's character Naomi and Ana de Armas' character Paloma. And it seems like Blofeld may have some information about this, about what's happening. And for a short period of time, James Bond is said to be working for the CIA for a little while within this movie, and then goes back to working for MI6 to go after this villain. And that's pretty much the movie. Now, I've been really wanting to see this movie, but the movie kept on getting delayed mostly because of the pandemic. So I was starting to wonder, are we ever going to really see this movie? Is this movie actually going to come out? And finally, it comes out, and I have to say, I really did like this movie. The action in this movie is really good. But one of my favorite scenes in this film is a car chase scene, which is really awesome. And you have James Bond driving a gadget car that is full of weapons, which is awesome. I love seeing James Bond driving a car like that. I did like the character of Cyclops, and I did like seeing Madeline Swan in the movie. I thought James Bond and Madeline Swan, Daniel Craig and Léa Seydoux had very good chemistry in the film. I did like Rami Malek's villain, Sarafin. I thought he was very good in the movie. And even though I didn't like everything about Lashana Lynch, I thought she was very good in the movie. I'll get into a little bit as to what I didn't like about her. I like seeing Q back, Ben Whishaw's character. It's always good to see Q in the movie. Ralph Fiennes is pretty good in the film. Ana de Armas is great in the movie. I like the action scenes she gets in the film. And Jeffrey Wright, I thought, was pretty good in the movie for what little bit he gets in the film. But let's get into the problems with this movie, because this movie's not perfect. I mean, definitely this is a good James Bond movie where Quantum of Solace and Spectre of the Daniel Craig run were weak James Bond films. This movie was a much better film than those two movies. But at the same time, there were some flaws with the movie that I didn't like. First off, we don't get enough of Rami Malek in this film. That was one of the problems with Spectre. We didn't get enough of Blofeld in that movie. And this time we're not getting enough of Sarafin. You would think that they would increase the amount of scenes with Sarafin so we can feel more of a presence with this character. But we don't get enough of him. And I wanted to give him a little bit more more of him, so I can feel like this guy has a presence in this and has a bit of effect on the plot here, because you know he's there, but you're wondering, where is he for a certain period of time. And through much of the film, you're getting focused on the other two antagonists that show up in the movie. This guy that we literally call Cyclops in the movie, and we get a couple scenes from Blofeld, which I kind of felt took away from Seraphin. I wish Blofeld wasn't even in the movie, and we just had the entire villain focus on Seraphin, really. As much as I love Christoph Waltz, I felt like everything that was needed with his character was done with Spectre, and we should just be focusing on Rami Malek's character. We don't need Christoph Waltz in this movie. And let's talk about Naomi, the new 00, Lashana Lynch. What don't I like about this character, even though I thought she was a pretty good character in the movie? I don't like the fact that the 00 number she gets, because James Bond retires for a short period of time, is his number. And when I heard her being called 007, I was like, what? That's James Bond's number. No. You don't get that number. You can have 008, or any other number, just not his number. No, that's not it. That's James Bond's number. The only 007 is James Bond. You can't be 008 or any other number, just not his number. No! But obviously they were doing that to say, well, like anybody can be a 007 now. Because we've had this demand for a black James Bond. We had a demand for Idris Elba to be James Bond, even though Idris Elba refused to take the role. We wanted somebody different to be James Bond, other than your typical white male, because we wanted to shake things up a bit. I've heard some people wanted, and it seems like, and it feels like to me, like the reason why Lashana Lynch was brought in was because of that demand, and also because they wanted to put Me Too politics in this. Really? Yeah, because Me Too politics worked so well for Ghostbusters, worked so well for Star Wars, and all the other franchises you decide to put Me Too politics in. Yeah, let's put Me Too politics in James Bond, because that works so darn well. No, do not do that. That just, a lot of times that just divides opinions when you do that. That's all you're doing, or you're just doing that just for the sake of getting controversy. And I know sometimes Hollywood likes controversy because they want to bring more attention to a movie, but a lot of times you're just making some people angry who hate Me Too politics. And I'm not a big fan of Me Too politics at all either. I don't really see that kind of politics in a movie. I mean, James Bond himself is political enough as he is. He doesn't need this Me Too garbage in the movie. And I just feel like if you took the Me Too politics out of this movie and added more scenes with Seraphin, this would have been a much better movie. I don't mind what happens to James Bond at the end. I don't want to spoil that, but I really feel like putting Me Too politics in the film and not having enough of the villain does affect the overall quality of the movie. So overall, I did like the movie. And I'm going to give this movie a B+. It's definitely worth checking out. And that's all I got to say for No Time to Die.